Welcome to First National Bank's Coach's Corner with Tony Tone and Muscatine High School football coach Jake Mueller. Listen online at vintage931.com or on your smartphone with the free Vintage Sound app. Let's start the show.
Yes, indeed. It's Vintage Sound 93.1 FM, and you heard our station voice guy, Brian Wright. It's the first installment, the First National Bank Coach's Corner with Muskie head football coach Jake Mueller. It's so good to see you, man. It's been a while. Welcome back.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
This is our third year of getting together each week ahead of your football game, and the fact that you have time to come in the morning. I don't know how you manage to do it, but here we are. I mean, can you believe it's been 3 years since we've been doing this?
No, I can't. It's been a fun time.
That means that when we started this, you had no kids in your house. Now you have two.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, you guys are experiencing so much joy and busyness, and now you have a football team to run. So,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. How was your summer?
It's like it didn't happen.
Wait a minute. You're an educator. You get 3 months off.
I don't want to hear about that. I didn't take a day off.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
But you know how many people tell me, because people always comment, like, you went to college to be an English teacher? And I said, yeah. Oh, so you could have summers off. And I said, that's not the case.
Yeah, for me, probably at least for sure 4 days a week I was at the school by 5:50, and I was leaving, somewhere around noon. So not a full day, but
absolutely crazy. So you don't even get a summer break, really?
Not coaching football, no.
Which is by choice, though, right? I mean, you could choose to not coach, but you are good at it and you love doing it. So.
I like to do it a lot, yeah. There's no doubt.
It's definitely a commitment. So when did you, because I kind of know this, right? But for maybe the casual Muskie football fan, when did you guys, there's really no break, right? I mean, if you don't have multi-sport athletes, they're still lifting in the off season. But when together as a team do you start doing things?
Yeah. So we expect all of our athletes, regardless if you're just a football player or involved in other sports, you should be participating in our strength and conditioning program year-round, just to be a better athlete. It's going to help regardless of the sport. But we get together we start doing things kind of organized in January for kids who aren't in a winter sport.
Sure.
And so after school, we expect them to get their lifting in during the school day or early bird. And then after school, 3 days a week, we have a speed and agility 3 days a week after school for those who are not in a sport. So
cool.
we want guys to be involved in a sport, but if you're not, all we're asking is about 45 minutes, 3 days a week.
Okay.
And we'll do one day we'll do like a linear, which is straight ahead speed acceleration. We'll do a lateral, which is side to side quickness, and then we'll do like a general conditioning day.
Okay.
So we do that pretty much from like the middle of January through school getting out, which is like middle of May.
Jeez.
And then we every other week we will get together as a team on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. and have a team meeting. Generally, it's going to be nothing really involving football. It's more of the team building, discussing like things about like character and leadership and things like that. So there's nothing like football specific. It's just kind of time to be with the team and just start to build, that team atmosphere. So we do that, from about mid to late January through till school year gets out, and then. When the school year gets out, so that we give them off of the week of finals, they get off of anything after school, and even lifting wise that week, that I think they do their max outs maybe one day a week, so they don't have a whole lot. And then generally we give them a week off after that, and then it's kind of full steed ahead.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you got pads on, because there's rules that you have to follow, right?
Yes.
So it was in August, correct?
Yes.
Or was it before that?
No, well, yes and no. So we went to a team camp at Central College in Pella. Right. And so if you go to a team camp, which we did, if it's fully padded and sponsored by the school, you can take your team and do that. So we did that. So we took our team to Central College in Pella and got a chance to compete and participate against other teams doing drills and even like some 11-on-11 stuff. So
wow.
So that was good. And then, then what's kind of weird about it was like that's July 23rd to the 25th, and then we don't put pads back on until like like August 10th or something like that.
Wow.
So it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So when we started on what was August 7th, we go 2 days with just helmets only, and then you can go shoulder pads and helmets after that. And then the midnight practice, which was, I believe it was August 12th, we went full pads for the first time.
Man, it's such a busy thing to manage, and to go from a camp and then to have to go no pads, then helmets, then shoulder pads. And and not to mention that it's summer, right? So, I mean, it's definitely a level of commitment for your staff and then obviously the players. I mean, they have to buy in. What's the team makeup like for the Muskies this year? It seems like you're young, right?
Yeah. It'll be it's unique. It's different than what it has been probably the last couple of years, whereas we just graduate a huge class, and then the class that follows them, it just isn't very big. For whatever reason, it's been a smaller class kind of all the way through.
Sure.
And, so that makes your numbers as a whole, as a varsity, smaller if your senior class is going to be small. So
Sure.
We have now I think we're up to 37 total kids.
Okay.
For most of the year, we were at 12 seniors. I think we're at 14 now. So it'll be different. No question about it. We're going to be very inexperienced. We have we really only have 3 kids who started games for us at return.
Wow.
And two of those kids are going to play different positions. So
Jeez.
you're really only looking at one guy who started the same position he played last year. So it'll just be different. Like a year ago, I think we had 8 on both sides of the ball.
Wow.
So that's
It's a lot of work. I mean, your staff can obviously, you're not trying to look ahead while you're in last season, but
No.
as soon as that off season hits, you kind of know what you're going to look like, and then maybe some things change. And
yeah.
man, that's got to be difficult to, I mean, you understand that you're going to rely on a lot of younger players, and hopefully at this point, and maybe it is during and then after the first game, which we'll talk about in a minute, that you'll kind of see that, that underclassman step up, or maybe it's a junior that's going to, rise to the occasion, because while they've been practicing and certainly getting some looks at each other, it's really that first game when you kind of can get that aha moment for a lot of players, can't you?
Yeah, it's one thing to have practice, but it's really not speed at which they're going to be playing. And
Sure.
so that's the thing that I think is going to be the biggest adjustment once we do start playing games is, you only have 3 guys that have really played a significant amount in a varsity football game. And so that just speed, I hope that, we have a lot of seniors who didn't have a significant role last year. They're going to have those roles this year. And so that's kind of rewarding to see those kids have that opportunity.
For sure.
But we did have a scrimmage last Friday against Washington, Iowa. So that was kind of, it was a good learning tool for us to see kind of the speed in which a varsity team plays. And
Sure.
so, that's kind of a good scope for us to view it as a coaching staff. So we know this week, what areas we need to make adjustments is. Maybe it's personnel, maybe it's scheme and whatnot to get ready to go for this week.
Yeah, I tell you what, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk about Game 1, which is a home game, by the way, this Friday. Cedar Rapids Kennedy comes to town. So don't go anywhere. First National Bank Coach's Corner with Muskie head football coach Jake Mueller is back in a second.
First National Bank is proud to sponsor the On the Money program at Muscatine High School. When the volleyball, swim, basketball, and baseball teams score big, they earn money for the Muskie Boosters. Since 1997, their hard work has earned over $55,000 in donations from First National Bank. We are also proud to sponsor the Muskie Football Red Zone. Can't make it to the game? Don't miss a minute of the excitement. Tune into AM 860 or FM 95.1 to hear the games broadcast live. Go Muskies. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to First National Bank's Coach's Corner on Vintage Sound 93.1.
Just like that, it's a quick break, and here we go. Friday football. Oh, it's a home game. You have to feel good, Coach, to open at home. Your opponent is tough, so it's a good feeling to be home. It's a big challenge with Cedar Rapids Kennedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a big challenge. There's no question about it. But we'll be excited to get out in our home stadium and home crowd, and hopefully see a lot of purple and gold Muskie fans out there, supporting us.
What do you know about Cedar Rapids Kennedy, other than the fact that because I was looking at some stuff online, and I mean this is a solid team. It always seems like they field a good group of athletes, and it's it seems like for someone like yourself and your coaching staff, you probably have watched a lot of video. I mean, are they returning a lot of guys? What do they look like? If the Muskies are young, what's Cedar Rapids Kennedy coming in looking like?
They're very talented, very big, very deep. I think they have around 70 guys on their roster.
Wow.
Yeah, and then just a really, really talented group. They have a number of kids who on their track team that placed at State or Drake that are in positions, and then a number of very talented wrestlers also. And so they won't be. They don't have a ton of guys returning, but their sophomore team last year was extremely talented. And they do have a number of guys that are back, but I wouldn't call them an extremely experienced team, but I would call them a very, very talented team. And so we expect to have a team that has a lot of depth because of their numbers and a lot of talent. And they've done some really good things the last few years. They're not in our district, and we don't see a whole lot of them.
Sure.
But I have read some articles and watched some of the stuff online about them, and I think the Cedar Rapids Gazette does have them picked to be either first or second in their district, which would qualify them to get in the playoffs. But so we expect a playoff caliber team, no question.
Tell you what, it's going to be worth watching, and the weather is going to cooperate, and it's great to start off the school year with a home football game and to rally around this team. Any opportunity you can have to go out on a Friday and watch football. Haven't we missed football?
I know I have.
I was going to say, as much as I'm a Cubs fan and, I love baseball, but there's nothing that compares to high school, college, and professional football. And the support of the community. If you're listening, and even if you're an alumni and you played or you didn't play and you don't have kids, or your kids have gone through the high school, you're still obviously welcome to come out and cheer on this team. They could use a good turnout each and every home game, quite honestly. Right?
Absolutely.
We want to pack the stands, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have good teams coming. I think most of the better teams, if you just look at what's on paper, are coming to our stadium, and so we're going to need the support of our community and our school, and we're excited about it.
Home this week, and then at Iowa City West next Friday. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll talk more about that next week. Good luck to the Muskies. Game 1, this Friday. Tomorrow, Cedar Rapids Kennedy coming to town, and I'll be there, so I can't wait to see what the Muskies look like for this season. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. First National Bank Coach's Corner will resume next week right here on Vintage Sound. Hang tight.